being a protector. Definition of protector of a man is you have a duty to protect your loved ones from harm, whether that's yourself, your lady in your life, kids, family, parents, or protect your home or your homeland. So it's been studied that men specifically have a biological instinct as a man to keep their loved ones safe from danger. So for instance, we talked about if you have a girlfriend or a wife, making her feel safe and secure. Women also have a biological instinct to keep their loved ones safe. This is specifically found when they have children, right? And mothers are the protectors of their sons and their daughters. But at some point, to all the mama's boys out there, at some point you need to go from your mom protecting you to you protecting your woman, your kids, and even your mother in your life. Like, I think, my mother will always look at me as like, my little baby boy. But I take care of my mom. I make sure that she's provided for and protected for. This is what it, kind of it comes down to being a man. So what is it about a man and the protector that you look for in regards to that? You want to go ahead, Janelle?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me it's a huge component. Provider is obviously great, but protector is like, it's why I don't date average men, because most men are weenies, as Mike Rashid says. They're weenies, they've never had any kind of significant life event that's challenged their manhood. They just live in a beta world. So all they know how to do is be beta men that try to pay through life with their credit card. It's like, what can you do? Like, how could you defend my honor? To have a man that would defend my honor because I'm worshiping, serving him, providing him children, selflessly giving up my life for him, to serve him and worship him. Like, I expect a man to be like, take down someone if he even says something bad about me. So in that respect, I do look for statuesque men. And I don't look for them, they find me.
Physically, you're saying physically statuesque men.
And people are like, it's unrealistic that you would date these kind of men. I'm like, the last 10 to 15 years of my life, I've never dated anyone under 6'3". My last few relationships.
I got to go 3 more inches in order to qualify. Fuck. I thought 6 foot was good enough.
My ex is 6'8", 6'5". Like, this is what I'm used to.
Dunking on us, Sterling.
Athletes,
all these guys.
And that I know can get down, and that they do some kind of martial arts, or they train, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, something. And then that they have a level of spirituality on some level. It doesn't mean they have to be a Bible thumper, but they check in with a higher power, with source. Because that's important for me, because I'm following you. You're my God. You're my king. But who the fuck are you following? So I want to know that you're following someone.
Damn, great point. Yeah. Linda, what are you looking for in a protector in a man?
So I think what she just said right now, for a fact, a man of God, or, I try to always date within my religion, so that would be Christian. I think that it's beyond the physical, because you could have, I get what you mean. Yeah. I'm with you. Yeah. The same. But I do think there is beyond the physical, because we can't say that because someone is like shorter or whatever, they can't protect you. And big gun advocate, so you need to be able to shoot someone and kill. I don't know if I can say that on YouTube. You need to be able to defend yourself.
Just to be clear, YouTube, she said kiss someone.
Someone.
Not the other word that you thought.
So you need to be able to know how to, use
protect and
defend with your guns. Yeah.
Okay. And then you, Kayla, what does a protector mean to you at this point in your life? Because you've said you've dealt with some trauma. I assume that the dude you're going to be with needs to make you feel safe and secure and protected.
I want to feel little. I want to feel like a woman around a man. I want him to be taller than me in heels. Yeah. I want to be able to sit and just relax in that, and then also the spiritual aspect is really important to me. I want him to be connected, tapped into source, be listening to something, be able to guide me spiritually as well as, physically. And that's important to me. So
I want to get your thoughts on this, Sterling. So I've kind of boiled it down to 2, maybe 3. This definition of being a protector. So there's obviously the physical component that you talked about, right? So your physique, your muscles, your strength, sports,
martial
competition,
arts.
being a man, whether it's 2A, and having that. And I think with that part, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, no matter what you're doing, win or losing, it's that your willingness to put up a fight and not be a pussy.
Right.
I think is very important for a man. Even if you get your ass kicked defending your woman, I think they would find that. I think the underlying factor of that is a man who has courage. I think that is huge. So that's physical. And then there's the protection is more than just being able to fist fight. It's leading, advising, being a shoulder to cry on, so to speak, communication, conveying a steady ship, right? Being emotionally protector. I think this is important. Do you want to weigh in on that second concept?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's just been an attack on masculinity. There's been an attack on Shiva men, on men, like Mike Rashid says. I've just interviewed him, so there's a lot of stuff coming that he said. He has this concept of divine masculinity, which is what I teach, divine femininity, divine masculinity. And there's been an attack on that. The society doesn't want men to be Shiva. They don't want them to be present. No. They don't want them to provide. They don't want them to protect. They want them to be confused about their gender, to turn into women. They want them like literally physically transgender, or just to turn into women by acquiescing their power, their submissiveness to a woman who leads them, because that's some culture. That's what makes the money. So I think for a man to be so in touch with his purpose that he is, and your purpose is your connection with a higher power, like what you were put on this planet to do, and to leave a legacy behind. When a man's tuned into that, he can lead a woman. But most men are just, what is social media telling me to do now? What, I need to it's not a real sense of God-like consciousness, divine masculinity. So when you find that in a man, it's like, it's intoxicating. You want to and like Mike Rashid, I'll just say, just to take away from the tall thing, he's not a tall man by any means. I'm not saying he's short, but not in comparison to the men that I've dated. I think he's 5'11" or something his fight weight. But sitting with him, I felt more connected to divine masculine godlike presence than I'd ever felt in my life.
Sterling, let me weigh in on this. So we talked about the physical component of being a protector, and then more the emotional role, communicative role. On your Instagram, you had recently done a boxing match in Romania with
the match was in Prague.
Okay, in Prague. I apologize. With our friend, I assume.
Through that organization.
Through the organization. Yeah. What was it like whooping someone's ass in the ring? I saw the picture of you like that. And then go deeper, not just the physical sense. When you're dating these women, how do you lead and have sort of an advisory role, protective role in the emotional, communicative sense?
So with the fight, it was actually my biggest takeaway from doing my first ever boxing match was that it's more of a mental game than a physical one. Because at least for me, I was the 19th out of 20 fights for that night, so I had to wait 6 hours all day backstage waiting for it. And I'm very, very grateful that I had that experience because in going last, because I had to sit there for 6 hours and control my emotions, keep my nerves down, stay focused, remember the game plan, don't let my emotions take control of me, because I was watching every other fighter and there was a bunch of dudes who let their emotions control them and they ended up losing. And so for me, that was the training was already done, the 8 weeks fight camp. Cool. That was the easy part. That was super duper easy compared to sitting there for 6 hours, watching everybody else go in and out of the ring, fight, and then staying calm and steady. So that's my biggest takeaway from that.
So it was more mental, staying calm, even though you were about to get punched in the face.
Yeah. Well, I did the punching. But
he said, come on.
By the way, how's the guy doing? Is he still in the hospital?
He's a fan of mine.
Oh, he's a fan of yours. He's out of the coma. He's good
great.
now?
He's great.
Okay, great. Good. Shout out to you, buddy.
And
then now how do you deal with that in the protective role with women?
In terms of the physical, you said something just then where you said you like to feel tiny. And that's really good to hear that coming out of your mouth, out of a woman's mouth like that, verbatim, right? Because one of the things I teach men in the bedroom is that by being a dominant lover in the bedroom, by being the kind of guy who can manhandle a woman, obviously consensually, obviously knows what he's doing, right? But by being that kind of dominant, forceful lover, masculine, manhandling, you demonstrate your capacity for violence as a man. You make her feel safe, ironically, because she knows you're a man who can be dangerous. By you being physically domineering like that in the bedroom, you show her that you actually are that protector.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
We talked
Okay.
about this,
Thank
I
you.
think. On
And
one
you
of
agree
his-
with that as well?
Yeah.
You agree with? So hold on. I
Absolutely.
want to stay here for a
wait,
second.
So what was that? I know what I'm talking about? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So we talked about the physical being the boxing ring, but you say that the easiest way to show the woman that you're a good protector and a dominant man isn't so much what you say or even how you emotionally convey things, is that you're saying it starts in the bedroom.
It's one of the ways you can show it, obviously.
Yeah.
I think a more practical day-to-day way is by being very situationally aware as a man. You need to have situational awareness. You need to be, okay, there's a bunch of guys on that side of the road who look a bit shady. We're going to walk on this side, baby.
Correct.
Like taking that lead and
It's
being...
like when a guy pushes you to the side of the road, like
Yeah.
you're like
Or
walking and he's
even
like,
more simple, like
Yeah.
if I go out on a date with a guy and he does not sit facing the door, I will
Oh,
find
yeah.
a reason to leave.
Yeah, I never said...
Or
I do not have my
will-
back to
Yes.
this.
I will
Yeah.
never talk to him again.
Yeah.
I fully
Never
agree
talk
that
to him
if
again.
you're going to sit down, you tell your, hey, sit here. I'm going to sit here.
So many
You
guys
need to
are
direct
clueless.
them. And also, I remember a buddy taught me this. I think I was like in college. He goes, you're always the one that walks closest to the road when you're on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The woman walks on the inside.
She
Yeah.
should walk on the left side because she's by your heart.
Ooh, that's why Janelle's here. Well, the sidewalk might be on a different side. But,
Correct, but yeah.
but the point is, you're going to be, as a man, willing to put yourself in danger first or keep an eye out for danger. So a woman doesn't have to worry. Again, going back to Kayla's concept of being safe and secure and feeling small. By the way, you're 5'10", I'll tell you.
5'7".
Yeah,
Me
I
too.
mean,
She's
you got heels on,
You
I
have
don't know
big
what it
heels
is.
She has
Yeah.
huge
Yeah,
I'm
and
5'7"
5'8".
too. I just
Yeah,
like
you're, and you're,
right.
yeah, these are not
5'7",
small women. Okay,
Yeah.
I mean, meaning height-wise. Like, and you want to feel small and secure
yeah.
and safe.
That's huge.
Three S's
Everyone's
right
the
there.
same height
And
when
you
you're laying
don't-
horizontally.
and let me just say this for people that aren't tall, because a lot of people are like, "Oh, you're superficial." It's like, no, I'm not. Yes, I have 5 planets in Libra. I like aesthetics. Get over it. However, you don't have to be tall to create that presence,
Yeah,
that
that's what I was-
safety. Like you
right.
said, in the bedroom, things like when you're out at a restaurant, all these things a woman takes note of and will detect.
Last
detect
question in this.
Can I jump in one
Yeah,
more
go
quick
ahead.
point on that? Another way that men typically show this protector aspect of themselves, and this is something that modern women have a problem with and they tend to butt heads with, is by telling her what to do.
I love that.
Oh,
By
yeah.
being
Yeah.
by saying, "Hey, baby, don't dress like that.
Don't dress like
Don't
that."
post this on Instagram. Don't do this. Don't do that." Men are doing this from that protector
It's
Right.
very attractive
frame of mind,
too.
right? But a lot of modern women will kind of butt heads with
back.
that
Yeah.
and be like,
I've been told
ain't no
to
man telling me what
I've
to
been
do.
told to change before. My ex was like, and he was only 25 at the time. I give him props. He's like, it wasn't anything crazy, but it was just like, he was like, wait a minute, you weren't thinking of leaving the house in that, were you? And I was like, I thought it was okay, you know. And
Did
he
you have a
said,
problem with him saying that?
Absolutely not. And
It's
then-
interesting because if a
I
woman
loved
ever
it.
said to me, Adam, I don't like that outfit, you need to change, I would 100% change
Yeah.
because I actually trust that she wants me to look
I
good. Now,
loved
if a
it.
girl, if I go to a girl and say, yeah, I don't like that outfit, you should probably change, that might be World War III of a fight with a woman.
But she's
Why aren't
masculine.
you- Girl, it
She's
depends,
masculine. She's
yeah.
not submissive. She's not surrender.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
I
well, you
told
just
him.
said that that's the problem with modern women.
Correct.
So
I told him,
it seems
I said,
to be a
okay.
pervasive
And then
problem.
from now on, I would ask him, I'd say, hey, how is this? He's like, fine, you're going overboard. No, I'll let you know if it's something that it's not okay.
It's just because it's what he said. They don't take it from the protector, point of view.
You're trying to
They
control
think
me. Are you my
exactly.
dad? Why
Or
are you
fight
telling me what
with
to
you.
do? Someone tells me to
Right.
do at work.
Yes.
Blah, blah, blah.
Well, I think there's the intention, right? If your intention is to protect, that's one thing. Because I've definitely had men try to control me with an insecure intention.
There's also
Right,
insecure
like
men.
what does that
not-
mean?
Yeah.
Insecure intention.
Like with worried about.
But worried is.
I'm trying to go there. I feel like I've been told to do something by a man because he was trying to control me from an insecure place, because he was trying to be like, oh, well, when you go out tonight, like, I want to make sure that you don't dance. right? Like, we're going to a club, bro. Like, what do you mean?
But
I
why
can't
would
dance?
you? But with you, was he going with you?
Yes.
And he would say he didn't want you to dance with him? Or?
Yes. Like,
Okay.
he was like, oh, I don't want you to dance. Like, we're going to stay right here. You know, or like, hey, and I'm
Is
like,
that
this
because
is
he
years
didn't
ago.
have good dance moves? What was that?
Yeah,
guy's
I'm not
problem?
understanding.
He was,
He was like,
probably
well,
not
oh,
good.
well, we're with these people and I want them to watch you. You know, just like insecure stuff. You know, so I've had both, but I've never heard of this. This is interesting. I've never heard like, hey, I'm going to tell you to do something because I'm trying to protect you. I think that's really interesting to me.
I'm
I
looking
haven't
after
had
your
that experience.
I'm looking after your best interests, like
Yeah.
long term.
Yeah.
Like you might not be able to see why I'm saying this, but trust me that I have
is.
thought this through, and I think you should do this.
Yeah, no,
this.
I like that.
Well, like we said, we kind of boiled it down, this protector, into two buckets. There's the physical component of being a man, but there's also the advisory, communicative portion of it. Last question of this, then we'll go to the third one. Open question. Just give a yes or no and reason why. Speaking of being a protector, is chivalry dead in modern society? Go ahead, Linda.
Yes, I would say. And I think it goes back to just societal norms and kind of like the mix of genders, and we're both equal and we don't have to do this. And I mean, I haven't had awful experiences, but I've had some strange experiences, I would say. I've had some guys that do go out of their way to do amazing things and make me feel not so much desire, but like, what's the word? You said the word earlier, but I can't even think about it. I don't know. I don't know the word right now, but yes, I've had
Chivalry is
amazing
dead,
chivalry.
is what
Yeah,
you're saying.
yeah, for sure.
Kayla, do you think chivalry is dead?
I think chivalry sometimes has to be trained again.
Trained again.
Yeah.
So it's not dead, it's just sleeping.
Sleeping a
Needs to
little
be
bit.
woken
Enough.
up.
Sleeping a little bit, you know,
Rip
like,
Van Winkle.
because we as women have this ability to praise the behavior that we like,
Yep.
you know, and they do it, you know, let's say they call you and you answer your phone like, oh my God, baby, I was just thinking about you. I'm so happy that you just called me.
Just affirming good. We talked about
Yeah.
this
All of a
today.
sudden, that guy's like, holy shit.
He
I'm gonna
loves
call him.
calling me,
Yes.
right?
Affirming.
Men want cues
Affirming
Yeah.
good behavior.
that, like, all right, this is I like this.
Yeah.
Some feedback.
Yeah, like the dress thing. Oh, I love that. Like telling me what to dress like. I'm like later, and I'd be like, baby, I think that was so sexy. Like you telling me that. Like,
You,
oh
and you
my
tell him
God.
that, he's never going to forget that.
Correct.
Dude, well, that's what I love that.
And
stuff,
telling
yeah.
them, and that goes to telling them what to do in the bedroom too, because a lot of women are not, and this is a good thing, well, maybe not a lot, but some women maybe aren't confident in the bedroom, and they're like, I don't know, is he gonna like this? But if you're like, get on your knees, do this, take off your clothes, and you're like, shit, man, all right,
All
I'm
right.
down
Confidence does it again.
Yeah.
So is chivalry dead in your
for it.
world?
Chivalry's not dead, but there's too many women that are men. They're acting like men. And so I'd have men, like, I've always had the guys open the doors for me on the first date, all that stuff. I've never had a bad experience, ever, ever, ever. But I'm feminine, so I get masculine men. But if a woman is masculine and she's, you know, CEO and this and that, boss babe, she's going to get men who are like, you know, that are not going to do it. They're not going to be chivalrous because they're not being allowed to be that way.
All right. Sterling, final word. Is chivalry dead and who killed it?
I think chivalry is dead because women have not rewarded it. Women control like men's behavior, like you said. Like if women didn't open their legs for a dude unless he was chivalrous, men would be chivalrous.
Correct.
Really simple.
Ah.
But because women will open their legs for a dude who's,
They have low
who's an
standards.
asshole,
Yeah.
who's acting like a piece
That's
of
what they
shit,
get.
then that's what dudes will do.
Yeah.
It's not that complicated.
Right.
Yeah, I think a guy, especially if a guy's into a girl, he's willing to be more chivalrous to attain the girl.
He
But
wants
if
to get her.
if
yeah.
she
He'll do
doesn't demand
anything.
that, then he'll just
Yeah.
be
That's why I said I've
fuckboy.
never not had someone open
Yeah.
doors to go out, put the red carpet out, but that's because I demand that of myself, and he gets that energy back from me.
Natalia, I'll give it to you, and then we'll go to the final thing. Is chivalry dead in your life?
In my life?
Meaning, like, you're out there, guys try to holler at you.
Um,
You've been on some dates. You know, you've got a lot of fans. Do you feel that men are being chivalrous, or that chivalry has died?
In my experience, I've experienced men be chivalrous.
And do you think that's because it comes natural to them, or it's the vibe that you're putting off, where it's like, oh no, if I'm going to deal with this classy girl, I better bring something to the table here.
Yes, I think it's more that in a sense. You know, if women come in and they're a little bit more openly promiscuous, I think the chivalry becomes a little bit less for them. But if women carry themselves at a certain standards, I think the men that approach you, they immediately know, like, okay, this is the standard I have to treat this woman if I want to maintain her or if I want to keep her. So I haven't really experienced men not being chivalrous, but I know there are men out there who aren't.
Okay. Final question, just quick summary. How attractive is it when a man is being chivalrous, taking you out, doing all that, opening doors, being that type of man? How attractive is it of a quality?
It's so sexy. You being the man allows me the permission to be the woman.
Yeah.
Linda?
And it brings safety to what we talked about earlier. Like it starts showing you who they are, right? So yes.
I just think it's not you being the man. I disagree with that. I think it starts with the women. The woman shows up feminine, surrendered, open, receptive, submissive, and the man will be chivalrous. He will treat a man like God, and he'll be God.
Wow.
No, I agree about that.
Final word.
Being chivalrous works for me, fine.
He's got 4.
Look at me now. So if you like that clip, click right here to watch another, or if you want to watch the entire SOScast, click right here.